Hello, welcome back to Steve's Retirement Corner. What you gain by retiring? It's going to be something close to that. I'm not sure what the title's going to be yet. But hey, man, I've done a video similar to this back before I retired. About, I think it was more about one more year syndrome. Something people tend to get, and I was guilty of it myself. I was sitting outside one night on 4 to 12, looking at the stars, taking a break, in a nice evening. And I think, man, I could do this for right on and on. I could work another year easy. And it's something that gives people a little bit of trouble. A lot of people. They look at what they'd be losing when they leave, if they was to retire, instead of what they'd be gaining if they did retire. And but I mean, if you look at it the other way around, because that stuff that you're going to be losing when you leave is opportunity loss, and I mean, and that's with everything. I mean, if you'd have bought Apple 10 years ago, I mean, you'd have been looking all right. But that's opportunity loss. You really can't go by that. I said, hey man, the smart thing for me to do would have been to wait till I was 65, at least 60, because I'd have got my full retirement. But at 65, man, I'm eligible for Medicare. I'm eligible for, I can get Social Security if I wanted to, or needed it. I got less time for my daggone money to have to last. That's all opportunity that I lost because I left early. And it worked against me. But it really doesn't hold a candle to what all you gain when you retire, I don't think. For me, I've gained way more in retirement than I ever would have got if I'd have stayed in there and still been working one more year or 3 more years or whatever. Hey man, the financial part is a given. And you can never have too much money, I don't believe. Money is a huge part of retiring, but it's not the only thing. But I'd be honest with you, I wouldn't want to try to retire without it either. That's why it's important that, hey man, you got to run your numbers. You got to be honest with yourself. Are you really going to spend $50,000 a year traveling every year, or is it just going to be the first couple of years, or is it going to be 10 grand a year, or whatever? As you age, things change a little bit, man. You might not want to retire no more. Travel anymore. You might not be able to. It just, anything great gets old once in a while. You know what I mean? Over a period of time. So, and hey man, it helped me by going and getting somebody to look at things. Somebody knows a lot more about this junk than me. You know what I mean? That really gives me the confidence that, hey man, I can go ahead and go if I want to. As long as nothing really goes squirrely, the it don't hit the fan, so to speak, we'll be all right. But it don't take away none of them concerns I have. They don't bother me anymore, but I keep them in the back of my mind as a reminder, hey man, things are doing okay today. But if I don't pay attention to what I'm doing, I could be in deep doo-doo tomorrow. You know what I mean? It just kind of keeps me on my toes. But man, I'm telling you, man, you gain so much the day you retire. The benefits start coming to you. I've said before how when I clocked out and I walked out the door to the plant there, the lab, I was about skipping to the truck. I felt lighter on my feet. Once I handed my pass in at my ID card in at the guard shack, and I got on the road to come home, I just felt like I could breathe better. It was like just a big relief had come over me. The stress starts fading away immediately, and the longer you retire, the more it goes away on you. And everybody thinks about, one of the biggest things people think about when they retire is having that free time back. And that's a gift, man. That's a treasure. I ain't gonna lie to you. It is. That free time to make life what you want out of it. instead of having to report somewhere. That's why I always say, hey man, that no matter how great a job you think you got, retirement is a lot better because you still got to report. You still got some kind of responsibility and all the hassle that comes with a job. And you know what I mean, man. The politics that play in on it, you know, and the socializing, you know. I mean, most people I work with were fantastic people, every one of them. But some of them, man, you just couldn't stand to be around. You know what I mean? You don't have to deal with any of that when you retire. But for me, honestly, I think the biggest benefit, it's just as big as your free time, is that daggone free mind space. Because it's something a lot of people don't think about. It never crossed my mind. But it's you don't realize how much space in your mind work takes up. Even for me, man, I was just a production worker. I didn't have no responsibilities. I was in charge of nobody. I didn't have meetings to go to, reports to make out, nothing. I did nothing special that any 15-year-old they couldn't train to do in 3 or 4 months. And after a year or so of being on a job, he'd be just as good at it as I ever was. You know, I didn't have all that. So I wasn't tied to a job. I always say I had a job and not a career. I worked because I needed food, pretty much. But that free mind space, that's what gives you that daggone pit in the bottom of your stomach on Sunday night before you got to go in. Your body is telling you, it knows before you do, you know. You might not be thinking about it, but your mind is. You know, you all the time got that on the mind, in some shape or form. And you don't realize it till you leave. But that free mind space, man, that's why retirement for me is, I mean, I call it my second childhood because that's the way I feel. Everything is daggone interesting to me. It's new to me. It's like I'm seeing it through a new set of eyes, you know. That's why I ain't gonna say never, but I'm always busy. I'm always got something to do. I just can't see being bored in retirement. I don't have any hobbies. I don't have nothing special that I do. You know, I got a routine, but it's kind of a winging it routine. It's a loose routine. I can change it at any daggone time I feel like it, and I do. Trust me. But it just I come up with so much stuff to do in my head that I'll never be able to do it. I don't care if I live to 110. You know, there's stuff I want to try, stuff I want to do, or stuff I want to learn about. It's just that free mind space, man. I mean, it's daggone priceless almost. You know. And I'm be able to be there in the moment for the baby or the kids or a friend of mine. See, that's the reason I didn't make a video yesterday. I had my little lady over here. She's going through a little tough time right now, tough period. And she called me and needs something yesterday, so I run over there and spent time with her. And but it you know, and it made me feel good. I was able to be there in her time of need to help her, you know, and I'm sure, and I know it helped her. So I mean, it's yeah, you gain all that stuff, man, and more. I mean, just having a regular bedtime for me was worth the price of retiring. I ain't gonna lie to you. Working swing shift all them years, man, and then having a regular shift or a regular 9 to 5 through the week, and off on weekends and holidays and regular dinner and bedtime. I mean, that for me, that's just priceless. I ain't gonna lie. You know, and you know, hey, look, with the first 2 years I retired, I was fortunate to be able to spend those 2 years with Mama. Her last 2 years, you know, enjoying a bologna sandwich and watching cowboy movies. Don't sound like much, but it's priceless. It's time I can never get back. If I'd have been working, I'd have never had that. You know. Now, I ain't saying step out there, man, but if you ain't done your homework and you can't make it, you know, like I said, retirement ain't all about the money, but man, I sure wouldn't want to step out there without it. Having them people double check everything was a big confidence booster for me, and it helped ease me into retirement. I could go in there, still have them concerns, but they're not really bothering me. It's more of just a back of the mind thing, keep me on my toes. You know, my health is better. I don't know whether it is or not, but I feel like it is. I lost a few pounds, and I don't know. You just overall feel better in retirement. You still have your bad days when your legs are aching you and your back is killing you, but those are few and far between. And it don't seem to bother you as much because you ain't got to go in there and put your 8, 12, 16 hours in on them. And knowing that in your head really messes you up. Man, I got to get it. Somehow I got to get up in the morning and go in that work, and I just don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. You know what I mean, man. I know you've done it. And no, but in my mind, man, you just gain so much by going ahead and pulling the plug if you're able to. It just... you gain a lot more from that than hanging in there another year just to be safe. Oh, you know, I want if I could put in another 50 grand if I worked one more year. That'd make things even better. You know, build yourself a little cushion, man, and if it's something you want to do and you're able to, I mean, I don't think you'll go wrong by doing it. And most of you have done right all your life in order to get to this point. You've done enough right to get to this point. If you're watching me, you are, because you sure ain't learning nothing except how to kick back. But anyways, man, y'all take care. Hey, man, I'm gonna put out a little Wednesday video tomorrow. You can watch it if you want. If not, it's no big deal. It's just it's a big humbling video. How's that? But y'all take care of yourselves, man. Yeah, make it a great week if you can. It's gonna be beautiful down here. It's gonna get cool. It's gonna be down in the 50s every night. I actually had to put on long pants this week. First time in months. But y'all take care, and we'll talk to y'all later.